If you've been following this channel for a while now, first of all, thank you. And second, you know that I've been very transparent with the income I've been making. So in my first year of Rare Liquid, when I started in January 2021, I did a monthly update of how much I was making. And then 6 months ago or so, I did an update for 2022. And now, after my second year of running and operating Rare Liquid, I now have the information of how much I earned in the full year of 2022. And I kind of gave away the punchline of the video in my thumbnail and the title, but in this video, I'm going to be providing a lot of details of the 5 different revenue streams I have and also giving monthly breakdowns, so a lot of juicy information to come. And so looking at today's agenda, I'll first be going over my 5 revenue streams from smallest to largest, and then sharing a 2022 summary and my 2023 goals. Alright, so first we'll start off with the PDF guides that I sell on rareliquidcareers.com, where I sell things like my resume and cover letter, industry guides for investment banking, and the applications that got me into Wharton and Columbia. Before going into my earnings though, first for some helpful context, on the left here are my subscriber counts by the end of each month in 2022. Now, I'm not going to go over every single number for each month for all the different revenue streams because you can just pause the video to kind of look at what you want. But in 2022, I earned $28,080 from this revenue stream, which is a 540% increase from the $4,400 I earned in 2021. And the growth rate is high simply because I made most of these guides in late 2021. The great thing about this revenue stream is that it requires zero maintenance work because after I put in the upfront work of creating the guides and then setting up my store, I use a platform called beacons.ai. Then everything's automatic. When someone buys something, it automatically gets sent to them. And that's an easy kind of $2,000 to $3,000 a month. Next, let's talk about YouTube ad revenue, which is what YouTube pays me for publishing videos. In all of 2022, I made a total of $28,765 for YouTube ads, which is about a 41% increase from the $20,000 or so I made in 2021. And after I started my MBA in June 2022, my video output has decreased quite a bit, which kind of explains why I didn't see much growth. In case you're curious to know how many videos it took me to get to where I am now, I made 114 videos in 2021 and actually made the same exact number, 114 in 2022. I know this because I keep track of all the videos I make in an Excel spreadsheet, and I thought this was just like a crazy coincidence. Now, since you clicked this video, I'm guessing you're somewhat interested on the topic of money. And if you've been following the news lately, you know there may be a potential recession in 2023. And one of the best ways to prepare is asset diversification. One way I've been diversifying over the past year is by investing with our sponsor for today's video, Masterworks, which has been covered by the Wall Street Journal, CNN, CNBC, and more. Masterworks is a platform that allows you to invest in shares of blue chip art from legends like Basquiat, Picasso, and Banksy. And I personally really love art myself. And so I think Masterworks is a really cool company that's also delivering really solid returns. The company returned $28 million to investors in 2022, with the 3 most recent exits delivering net annual returns of 10%, 35%, and 14%, even though 2022 was one of the worst years in decades for stock market returns. I personally invested a bit into this Basquiat painting myself, and if you're interested in checking out Masterworks, you can skip the waitlist by checking out my link down in the description below. All right, now going back to our revenue streams, third on the list is Patreon. And this was a monthly subscription service that I offered to people to follow my investment portfolio and trades. In 2022, I earned $45,155 from Patreon, which was about an 18% increase from the $38,000 or so I made in 2021. But I shut Patreon down a few months ago, and let me explain why. After starting my MBA this past June, I was balancing school, doing research for investing, making investing videos, Rare Liquid overall, just operating the business and meeting new people at my program. And I was just way too busy to do the proper research required to make good trades and manage a successful portfolio. Of course, it didn't help at all also that the market was taking a downturn, but even if the market shoots back up, which eventually it will, I'm never going to restart Patreon because over the past few months in particular, I really took a hard look at Rare Liquid and where I want to take the business over the next 5 to 10 years. I'll explain more about this in my 2023 goals, but I realized that I want to make much more career-related videos and those kinds of products. And so that's why I decided to shut down Patreon. Next up is affiliate revenue, which is the commission companies pay me whenever people buy the products or services I advertise in my videos. In 2022, I earned $72,323, which was a 220% increase from the $22.6 thousand or so I earned in 2021. And I only started earning affiliate revenue in May 2021. And so that's why there was this huge jump. I think affiliate marketing has been big for me for 2 main reasons. And the first is that I just have a really high bar when it comes to the companies I work with. I've said no to over 100 plus companies, some of them who have actually offered quite a bit of money. And that's because I only want to promote products I actually use myself or can see myself using. The second is that I try to be as strategic as possible in terms of the companies I promote in the different videos that I have. So for example, for a lot of my finance related videos, I promote Wall Street Prep, which offers a financial modeling course. And then for a lot of my MBA related videos, I usually try to promote something like Target Test Prep, which is a GMAT course. The companies I work with also pay an upfront payment for each video, and so let's next talk about sponsorship revenue. In 2022, I earned $123,036 from these upfront payments, which was a 470% increase from the $21,600 or so I earned in 2021. And I started earning from sponsorships in June 2021, which in part explains why the growth rate is so high. Now, I know a lot of you guys might be curious as to how much I charge upfront per video, and I can't share exact details for each sponsor and things like that because all of that's confidential, but overall, I typically tend to charge about $1,000 to $2,000 upfront before any commissions are paid for each video. Usually, I'll start off my rates a bit on the lower end when I'm just starting to work with a company, and then if there's good conversion, start to increase my rates over time. And my goal with companies I work with is always to establish a long-term relationship that's a win-win for the both of us. So those are my 5 revenue streams. And now let me give you a pretty brief summary of the year of 2022 with all the different revenue streams so you can see the full picture. Here are the amounts I earned for each revenue stream in 2022. And in total, I earned, as you know, about $297,000, which is a 177% growth rate from the $107,000 I earned in 2021. Making this video was actually pretty helpful for me because it encouraged me to look at how much each revenue stream was making and how they're growing as well. And since each one is kind of its own little business, it gave me some thoughts on where I should focus my energy. It hasn't been easy managing both school and Rare Liquid, but overall, pretty happy with how things turned out in 2022. I'd also want to add a note that it's not like I'm just pocketing all this money that I made because I split profits with a co-founder. We had an employee in 2022 and a bunch of contractors. So some decent amount of costs. I would say overall still a pretty high margin business, but just wanted to add that note. All right, now last up, let me share with you my goals for 2023. For my subscriber count, I'm aiming to get to 200,000 subscribers by the end of the year, which is pretty consistent with how I've been growing over the past 2 years. Moving on to my revenue streams, I'm projecting to hit $21,750 from guides, and I expect this to fall because I won't be marketing them once I launch my courses, which I'll talk about a bit later. Then I'm projecting $34,250 for YouTube ad revenue, which is not a huge increase because I think my video output will continue to kind of decrease while I balance school. Next is $0 from Patreon because I've discontinued it, as I explained earlier on in the video, so pretty simple explanation here. Then my goal is to hit $97,500 from affiliates, which might be a bit conservative, but it's still pretty steady growth. Next, I'm projecting $201,500 from sponsorship upfront fees, which should grow as my subscriber count grows. And then I have 2 new revenue streams, which are going to be a how to get into MBA course, which I'm projecting to reach $97,500 by the end of the year, and a how to get into banking course, which will launch a little bit later in the year, which I'm projecting will reach $47,500. This all leads to a total revenue goal of $500,000, which represents a 67% increase over the $297,000 I earned in 2022. For these goals in 2023, I think a lot of it is going to just depend on whether or not I can launch my courses in time because I've been spending so much time working on them because I want to make sure that they're just the best products out there for how to get into MBA and how to get into banking. And I'm actually giving away 50% discounts in case you're interested to people who sign up early using my Google form link down in the description below. All right, so that concludes the video. And if you enjoyed this one today, I'll be doing updates like this every 6 months. And I'll also try to provide more consistent updates on my Instagram and TikTok. So feel free to follow those. The handle is just Rare Liquid for that. Also, friendly reminder to check out Masterworks if you're interested in investing in blue chip art. With that said, thank you all so much for watching. Hope to catch you all in the next video. Thanks so much and peace out.